So Meghan and Harry, I just saw this article that it's not going to end well for Meghan and Harry, or that Meghan and Harry should be aware, or be warned, I suppose, that this feud with the royal family will not end well for them. So I suppose the presumption is that the royal family will somehow prevail and Harry and Meghan will, I guess, just fall by the wayside and lose. And I mean, for me, it's not really a question of winners and losers. I don't think of it in the terms of winning and losing because, again, this is a family, and that's something that I must at all costs try to remember and not let people twist my mind too much on this issue. I mean, I know whose side I'm on, but in the end I really am on the side of peace, and I'm on the side of what is right, and I'm on the side of justice, and I'm on the side of truth. And so I have to keep that in mind at all times. So I don't really think of it in terms of winners and losers, But that said, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Harry and Meghan will be the ones to lose face in the end. The royal family and the institution of the royal family, the monarchy, the crown, is obviously very, very powerful, very resilient. They've weathered perhaps more than any other empire in Europe or the world, the modern world. And Meghan, in the grand scheme of things, is no match for that. She just isn't. They have resources behind them that sort of just makes Meghan a little, just a little kitten, a kitty cat that they can crush in 2 seconds, and they know it, So I don't think that she wins by doing a frontal attack on these people. But I think that the way she prevails is just by truth and dignity and holding her head up high, holding her husband's hand, hugging her children, putting one foot in front of the other every day, trying to be her best self, and letting nature, letting karma, letting all of those other things take control. And not to wish any harm on anybody, but to know that the right thing will happen in the end. I don't think it's a question of winners and losers, and I don't think that the British royal family / the institution of that, the crown, is beatable on sort of, in a general sense. I just think that, there are ways in which perhaps the institution could improve, and they're going to have to bend a little bit to make that happen. And Meghan's arrival in the family is probably catalytic in more ways than one, and we'll have to see how that works out. So I wouldn't jump to any conclusions if I were these people saying that it's not going to end well for Meghan and Harry. They could be surprised. I don't know when was the last time I walked in the Jardin du Luxembourg. Actually, I think I did sometime during the summer this year. But it's quite a beautiful park, isn't it? here. Like in the old days in Greece and Rome. It's quite a rainy day today, so there aren't that many people in the park. This is, I think, their Senate. There's Senate. I've never been to Washington, D.C. Well, we drove through Washington, D.C. once when I was a teenager, I think. And, but I did not get very close to any of those important buildings in America. But they're right here, so accessible in Paris, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, Meghan and Harry. So what else did I want to say about those two today? Well, there was this one paper, it's a French paper. I find that the French media is not much nicer than the UK, New Zealand, and Australian media when it comes to Harry and Meghan. But I don't really fully understand French, so I resist it. I would just move on to an English news outlet and trying to decipher the French because it takes longer. But it seems to me that they're very much anti-Meghan and Harry, like I guess most of the media in Europe, which is unfortunate and sad. But one of the articles this morning that I was looking at, it was in French, was about the financial future of Meghan and Harry and what are their prospects. It sounds like the article was saying that the Netflix docuseries was a flop, or at least they were trying to say that, and what would be next for them, and this, that, and the next. And I find it very curious because I watched the Netflix docuseries. I mean, I'm not going to say that I am the smartest person in the world and that I necessarily understand everything. Oh my God, these birds. I am not even going to say it, but they scare me sometimes because they can be aggressive. And I remember this one time I was in Normandy, and where was I again? Oh my gosh, I always have to ask my student Alice because I can never remember. I was at this touristy attraction called Mont Saint-Michel, and walking back to my hotel, and there were these seagulls. And let me just tell you, I will never trust a bird again for the rest of my life. Anyway, that's it. So they were talking about Harry and Meghan's financial future, and it sounds like they're saying that their prospects are not very good because I guess, all they have is the Netflix thing, and it sounds like they're saying the Netflix thing was a flop, and woe unto Harry and Meghan, and this, that, and the next. And I'm sorry, I don't see it that way. But again, I'm not an expert. I can't really trust my own eyes and ears, apparently. So I have to depend on the media to fill my head with their truth or their version of it. And I guess all I can really do is wait and see whether their theories are correct or not, because I see two people who are very creative, who are busy, who are doing things, going places, making money, a ton of money, very interesting, very fascinating, winning awards, trying to do good in this world, and I think that there are other forces in the world than just that which we can see, and I think those forces will take care of Harry and Meghan just like they take care of all of us. I mean, all human beings. And we all, in the end, end up in the right places, I think. And so, I'm not worried for Harry and Meghan at all. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're doing fine. And I'm very proud of them so far. And, if they ever want to hire me and give me some of their money that they're supposedly not making, I'm here. So there you go.